From the deepest bowels of your imagination.
Actually, he's from Canada there, bud.
From the famed Hotter Show Studios, this is The Hotter Show.
What is up, everybody? We're rolling audio here today in episode 94 of The Hotter Show. How are you doing? I am doing absolutely, positively, absolutely fan-freaking-tastic. Thank you so much for tuning in and clicking that play button on today's episode of the podcast. This Royal Rumble predictions podcast with my buddy, Mr. Brandon Bowden, the Kevin Dunn of The Hotter Show, ladies and gentlemen, the producer of The Hotter Show, of course. We talk about each match that's been announced so far for the card. We talk about predictions for each match, kind of what we think is going to happen, give who we think is going to go over in the match, and of course, we talk about the Royal Rumble matchup, give our predictions for who do we think is going to win, what storylines may happen, some surprise entrants as well. There's obviously some funny, outlandish predictions that myself and Brandon go into as per usual. And of course, there are multiple segue cities about random topics and funny things. We actually got a phone call during the podcast and was interrupted by an interesting fellow. So very, very interested. I don't know how he got my information, my Skype. But it'll be interesting to see what happens. I did forget to mention that we did actually do this over Skype. But we did it a little differently. Basically what we did was he recorded his audio, I recorded my audio. So it's very interesting to see what happens. I think the quality is great. I was really, really surprised with how good it sounded. Weren't able to do it in person. Things like that happen. Life is busy and a crazy thing. But before I go any further, I want to take a second to give a shout out to a couple of guys, some buddies of mine, Jordan and Sam, who you guys may have seen. I shared their Twitch when I shared this particular podcast on Facebook, and the reason for it is because the two of them, they do some Twitch streaming under the name Two Nerds Play. They've done some wrestling stuff, which is the main reason why I wanted to share it. I'm sure they will do some Royal Rumble type stuff. They've also done some Power Ranger stuff, I think, as well. They're two really funny, entertaining dudes, and they are self-proclaimed nerds. And they're just two solid dudes, really funny. Sam has actually helped me more than once with this podcast, helping me with set up the Skype and that kind of thing for when I had Jacob on the podcast. I think I gave him a shout out in that. And he's giving me some editing tips and stuff like that as well. So, and not to mention, he also gives me a hand when my grammar's not so good. Always make sure to hit me up and say, hey, my yours and my theirs and everything. It's always funny when he does that. I call him my editor now, but I want to give a quick shout out to them. You guys can see on my Facebook that I tagged them in this and also have a link to their Twitch. So be sure to go check them out, support them. I'm sure they'll be doing lots of stuff in the future. Two very entertaining dudes, and I'm hoping to have them on the podcast very shortly. But all that out of the way, I want to run into the podcast here today. This Royal Rumble Predictions podcast. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so I'm sitting at the kitchen table in the kitchen of Hotter Show Studios, ladies and gentlemen, sitting in front of my computer, got my microphone ready to go here, and I was going to talk some Royal Rumble predictions, and I was going to have Brandon over. We were going to kind of chat about it, and then we kind of realized, we got some shit to do today, so how are we going to do this? And we decided we're going to do this over Skype, but, interesting twist, we're going to kind of record it separately and put it together, see how it sounds. This is very exciting. I always like to tell you guys this kind of stuff when we do something different, so we'll see what goes on. But of course, Brandon, the gimmick Brandon Bowden, the producer Brandon Bowden, the Kevin Dunn of The Hotter Show, what's going on?
Kevin Dunn. I'm good. I'm pretty good.
I always love that. I love how you've literally had more gimmick changes than Jericho.
Yeah.
Well,
the gimmick of Jericho. Bring it in, man.
Bring it in, man. Get it over, man.
Get it over, man.
my favorite thing in the world is I listen to you ever heard the new podcast on Jericho Network, aka Podcast One? Shots fired at Jericho. You ever heard Killing the Town? It's Lance T. Storm.
Oh, God.
And the T stands for Thunder. And Don Callis. who was
like
Cyrus.
WCW Thunder?
Yes, but better.
Oof.
Lance T-Stone. And it's Don Callis, a.k.a. the Jackal, a.k.a. The guy from the network in ECW, who's actually a really good talker. And you know what? It's a good podcast because Lance, he's a lot more entertaining than you think he would be. Like,
Really?
Because he's like the business guy. He's all like, "Hello, everybody, and welcome to Killing the Town podcast," and blah blah. He's talks to all the sponsors and stuff, and then he just basically like is devil's advocate to friggin' Don.
I feel like Lance Storm would be like the worst podcaster ever.
No, he's actually good though. Like, I mean, like he's better than me. I think I hold that title pretty proudly.
But Lance Storm has like the personality of a walnut.
But he has a personality though. Like that's the thing is like people are always like, "Oh, like Lance Storm can't talk. Lance Storm can't talk." You ever watch some of his promo stuff when he was in ECW?
Not in
Like
ECW.
he can talk.
In, like,
Calgary,
WCW.
Alberta, Canada. Like he can talk. Just eat.
Yeah, see, my whole like recollection of Lance Storm is like the Canadian Championship stuff in WCW.
Yeah.
Team Canada.
Yeah.
With Hacksaw.
Yeah, see, and that's not Lance Storm. That's bad Lance Storm. But anyway, just I thought it was funny. You should definitely check it out. It's good. It's good stuff. We don't have our rotating third here today, but that's okay because Brandon is entertaining enough to just carry this entire show on his own. I'm basically going to play devil's advocate. What we're going to do is we're going to talk Royal Rumble. I'm sure we're going to go off on a bunch of different segue cities and talk about bookings and all that kind of thing. I'm going to say the match. And then we're going to kind of give our quick predictions on it. Obviously, the matches we're going to talk about the most is the Royal Rumble match itself and probably the major championship matches. But we'll talk about all the matches that have been announced so far anyway. This is subject to change because as we record this, there's still
we still need SmackDown tonight, but that's about it.
Yes, so as we record this, SmackDown's tonight, but hopefully nothing big changes.
I can't see there being like maybe a couple more entrants, but I can't see much more changing.
Yeah, I don't want to go through every single entrant of the match because that's going to take us like 3 hours. But so we're going to do that. We're going to give our predictions for it. And Brandon, of course, if you have any crazy bookings you want to go off on, by all means, go off on them.
I don't have anything in my head yet, but I'm sure it'll come to me.
I'm sure it'll come to you. But so we'll just kind of jump into it here. The first match of the night, which is going to be on the kickoff show, is actually a match I am very much looking forward to seeing. And that is Cesaro and Sheamus, the Raw Tag Team Champions, versus the Good Brothers, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. And the interesting part of this match is the fact that it is obviously for the titles, and there's going to be 2 refs assigned to the match to make sure there was no tomfoolery. So
I'm not sure exactly why they made the stipulation of there being 2 refs like in the match, like because somebody's been like Sheamus or Carl Anderson or Luke Gallows like makes a tussle. Like there should be 2 referees involved in every match then.
Exactly, yeah.
Like there should be 6 refs involved in the Kevin Owens Chris Jericho match then because something always happens in those matches.
Absolutely, I agree with you. Like it's kind of bizarre that they're doing it.
It's kind of dumb, but if it helps the club win clean, I'm okay with it.
And that's the thing is I want to see the Good Brothers, because I refuse to call them the club. I want to see the Good Brothers go over clean. I want to see them hit a magic killer on friggin' Sheamus and end his miserable career off finally. That's a little rough. That's Christ. A little rough. I'm just joking. I
like the idea of Cesaro and Sheamus as a tag team, but like everybody's so high on Cesaro. I'm like, I just don't get it. I understand he puts on really good matches and he brings out something new in every match he does, which I can respect. But like I said about Lance Storm, the guy's got a personality of a walnut.
I think Cesaro has a bit of a personality. He hasn't. They don't let him show it. Exactly.
No,
they don't really let him show it. Him being with Sheamus,
either let him show it or get the belt off of him because he can't. They don't let him talk. So in my mind, he just can't talk.
Exactly. And I mean, I feel like if they say they lose and then him and Sheamus go into a feud, end that off completely. Sheamus goes wherever he goes, and just let Cesaro go. That's a guy who he can definitely be a mid-card champion. He's always been that good. I do still think one day he can be a world champion. I don't know how long it's going to take for him to get to that point, but a lot of people think he's already there. I don't know, but I think that they're kind of a bizarre tag team. I do like the story of how they started off kind of as rivals and butting heads, but then they were like, hey, we're a really good tag team. And they had like that bar fight vignette thing they did.
That was cool.
Which was, some people were like, oh, that was so lame. But I was like, you know what? I enjoyed it because it showed this camaraderie between the two of them. You know, like the old school when even if it was someone you hated, if one of the boys got in a bar fight, you jumped in and helped him out. You know, even if you hated him, it didn't matter. So, I mean, it's interesting. Obviously, for this match, I think we can both agree we want to see the club go over.
Yes. Oh, you called them the club.
I called them the club, not the Good Brothers. But I want to see them go over. They deserve it. The fact that they've treated Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows the way they have since they've come in, I mean, it breaks my heart. I think the problem is something that actually we were speaking about Don Callis earlier. Something he said once to Jericho that it was so funny because it's so true. He was telling a story of Kurgan. Remember Kurgan? Kurgan. You remember Kurgan from the Oddities, Truth Commission? Big dude.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Don Callis was the Truth Commission, right? That was him. Anyway.
Yeah.
Enough about Don Callis. He was telling a story of they were at this party and Kurgan and his wife were there and Don Callis is hanging out with him and Kurgan wanted to dance. And Don Callis said, no, you're not going to dance. You're not going to, when we get to the buildings, you're going to be a giant. When we're in the car, joke around, be a nice guy. Because he said, Kurgan's just a really nice, funny guy. But he's like, don't do it. He says, well, my wife and I want to dance. Why can't we dance? He says, because if Vince McMahon sees you dancing, you're going to be dancing on television. Don't do anything in front of or around Vince McMahon that you
don't want to do on TV.
Exactly. And that's exactly what he said. And I think that's what happened with the club. They came in as these ass-kicking machines, but then Vince was like, oh my God, these guys have amazing personalities and they're hilarious because they are. They're like my favorite dudes on the roster just because they're so funny and hilarious. And I love listening to them just banter about anything. But
so in your mind, they came in, cracked a couple of jokes to Vince, and he's like, ha 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 ha, you guys are hilarious. You guys are going to be jokesters from now on. Yeah.
Pretty much. That's what I think happened. And I mean,
I was going to give you the belts, but yeah, you're going to be jokesters now.
You guys are going to be jokesters. Yeah. I don't think it's been that bad. I don't think
then in the back, Kevin Dunn's just, no belt for you, Kevin Dunn.
Have you ever heard Jim Cornette's impression of Kevin Dunn?
Is it similar to the one I do?
Daniel Connie. I don't know why you call it wrestling. We're not wrestling, okay? Just because there's wrestlers in the ring in there.
He makes him sound like a beaver that's had too much caffeine.
Exactly. It's the best impression of him I've ever heard. I mean, yours is pretty good, don't get me wrong, because he refers to himself in the third person and laughs.
Well, exactly. Like, I see like Kevin Dunn as this like really like low-grade sinister dictator. But he's got a boss. And which kind of dictator has a boss?
Kevin Dunn does.
No dictators have bosses, right? So it's like, he's just like, ha ha ha, I'm Kevin Dunn. You have to do what I say. Ha ha ha, Kevin Dunn. And then Vince is like, what? You have to do what I say. Sorry, Vince. Ha ha ha. You know?
It's just like, what
like a really, really bad dictator.
A really bad dictator. That's Kevin Dunn's new gimmick when I make him on 2K17. He's going to be Kevin Dunn, the bad dictator. Basically, finish up the match there. Like I said, I would like to see Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows go over, obviously. I think they're a phenomenal tag team. I would love to see the Good Brothers have a run with the belts.
I can agree with that. I think it's time.
Absolutely time. But moving on from that match, I guess the next match of the night, from my card I have here in front of me anyway, is going to be Nia Jax versus Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks.
Kinshasa Banks.
It's going to be Sasha Banks versus Nia Jax in a singles match. So it's definitely going to be an interesting match. They've been building this up now for the last couple of weeks. What are your thoughts on it?
They haven't really, like, except for last night, they haven't really given Sasha Banks any offense against Nia Jax, which is probably for the best. I don't want to see Sasha Banks win this match. No. I'd rather see Sasha Banks beat Nia Jax at WrestleMania as opposed to Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I can totally agree with that.
Because the way I see the other women's match going, I don't think that Sasha's going to get another shot at the women's title yet till after. So I think that it'd be best to have her lose to Nia and then finally, conquer Nia at WrestleMania as opposed to Royal Rumble. I don't want you to use Nia as a, somebody who you build up so you can job them out, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. I mean, I think she's a unique talent as far as she's a big woman, you know? Like, she can... Yeah, you know, she's not the greatest wrestler in the world, but she works that strong style, and I think that's how she should work. You know, I don't want to see Nia Jax try and perform a moonsault or anything, you know?
Because I have an issue with Sasha Banks. I really do. Because people give guy like Roman Reigns so much flack, but they don't give Sasha Banks any flack, and she basically gets booked the same as Roman Reigns in a way.
Yeah, I can understand where you're coming from with that. I think it's because the people love her so much.
Like, if she beats Nia Jax, I'm gonna be kind of ticked off about it, because I'm like, okay, well, if you had Roman in there and he beat Braun Strowman, you'd be booing him. But Sasha Banks beats Nia Jax, and you're all like, "Woo,
she's
Sasha
a hero.
Banks!"
Oh, thank God she took out that. You know, that.
I'm a mark and I know it. You know,
I'm a Mark and I know it. You know, careful there, Marky.
don't get me started.
Typically Marky Markinson, but
Marky Merkinson.
I love how the
Another one of my
podcast has
gimmicks.
no idea who that is, but maybe one day they will. But yeah, you know, this should be an interesting match. We'll see what happens. You know, this is, if I'm not mistaken, this is going to be kind of Nia's first like big match, is it not? That she's that I can recall.
It's gonna be she's had a pre-show match before against Alicia Fox, so yes, it's gonna be her first big match.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. You know, I hope that Nia Jax does go over. You know, I do want to see Sasha get some offense in, obviously, and have a good match, but I agree with you. I think that if...
I'm not going to lie, if Sasha gets squashed in this match, I'd be okay with it.
Yeah, to then kind of...
But that's just but obviously that's not going to happen. I just don't really care for Sasha Banks anymore. She's been thrown in my face too much, so I'm starting to rebel against, you know, the machine. Yeah. So you know, I'm going to be like the Roman Reigns marks, but against Sasha Banks. I'm going to boo Sasha Banks from now on.
Careful the heel.
Roman Reigns, he always wears the vest to the ring. You know,
careful there, Marky.
Sorry.
But moving on from that match there.
I'm going to bleep out my swears.
I'm going to bleep out my swears. What are you going to use to bleep it out with, though?
A bleep?
Oh, I thought you were going to use something else. So, the next match I guess we'll talk about. This is where the card kind of gets a little weird for me. I guess the next match is probably going to be the Cruiserweight Championship match, I would assume.
I guess it all depends when they want to change the ring over.
Yeah, I would want to do it right away for me.
Get it over with.
Yeah, get it over with, yeah. So it's going to be Rick Swann, the champion, versus the King of the Cruiserweights, a newly, well, I guess it's not newly changed gimmick anymore, but he's, you know, it happened somewhat recently.
Is the King of the Cruiserweights.
I love it. I love Neville as a heel.
It is pretty fun to watch. It's entertaining.
And he looks like a heel. Like, you almost forget how like ripped that guy is.
Oh my God.
Until you like take a good look at him and you're like, God damn, that guy is shredded.
He's absolutely shredded. Like, I think he has like 2% body fat.
It's brutal. But he's it's good. I'm sure it'll be a good match. I mean, Rick Swann is great. He's impressed me since I saw him. I had no idea who he was when he came in the CWC.
I remember seeing Rich Swann in a non-title match on NXT against Finn Balor, actually.
Oh, really?
Like months ago, yeah. He had I think it was a non-title. Yeah, it was definitely a non-title match against Finn Balor, like when Balor was still NXT champion.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just he was working underneath, and he put on a really good match with Finn Balor for what the match was.
Interesting. I didn't even know they had a match.
And that was the first time I really was exposed to him. Then I saw him in the Cruiserweight Classic, and I was like, yeah, this guy's got something, but they haven't booked him right since he got the belt, in my opinion. And, you know, they got to get rid of the dancing. He dances too much.
But yeah, I feel like anytime a superstar kind of dances and that kind of thing, and they're asked to be taken seriously at the same time, it's either going to work really well or not work at all.
It's a good way to get over, but it's not a good way to stay over.
Exactly. Like, you look at someone like a No Way Jose, he got over pretty quick.
Yeah.
Because he was this, you know, but he was very talented in the ring, but, you know, it's kind of getting old now for me. I'm kind of like, okay, I get it, you know, he dances and stuff, and he's good in the ring.
For some reason, No Way Jose, it's still okay for me because he's also vicious at the same time.
He is. I feel that, like, last time I saw him, he was a lot more vicious.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with it, you know, but, like, it's kind of like, okay, like, they need to make sure he keeps showing that vicious side of him.
Yeah. I agree.
But either way, you know, I think it's going to be a good match. I'm sure we're going to see some crazy shit. Is Neville still? I haven't been able to watch Raw the last couple of weeks. Is Neville still using that almost like Rings of Saturn type finish?
He's been doing a couple of things. He used a superplex as his finish the last time he took on Swan. It was a pretty devastating superplex. I don't know other stuff he's been kind of like going in and out of finishers. He's using like the red arrow still a little bit, but he's definitely his finishing's been varying lately.
Because I liked that move and I bought it too. Because when he does it like shows off his physique when he does it, right?
Yeah.
And he just looks angry as shit, and I'm like, dude, this is ruthless.
I don't know. His patchy beard makes him always look angry to me now.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. He just looks pissed off at all times. He's got that. He's got that resting beard face.
Resting beard
Episode
face.
69 of the Harder Show, ladies and gentlemen.
Episode 69. I see why you did that. Okay.
Yeah, okay. You got it.
But I digress. All right.
I'm gonna input the Peter Griffin laugh now. No, I'm just kidding. That's what I did. I like had it, and then I was like, episode 69. Then I said Peter Griffin laughing. Interrupt me.
I heard that.
Anyways, so it'll be a good match. Definitely looking forward to it. It's probably going to be one of the matches of the night for sure.
You think so?
I think so. It's going to be a good match. I'm going to call it now, saying it's definitely going to be one of the matches of the night. Not the match of the night, but it's definitely going to be a good match, I think.
Can we agree that Neville's going over?
Oh, absolutely. I want to see Neville literally be the king of the cruiserweights. I want to see
king
him...
of the cruiserweights.
Absolutely. I want to see him just dominate not dominate Rick Swan, but like, you know what I mean? Like, I want to see him... Yeah. I want to see him submit Rick Swan.
Are you calling him Rick Swan?
Rich Swan. Rick Swan. Who the fuck's Rick Swan? That's
Rick
his...
Well, I guess it can be Rick, but Richard...
Yeah. I'm going to call him Rick from now on, just because...
No, we'll just call him Dick Swan.
Call him what?
Dick Swan.
Dick Swan. This is Dick Swan.
Richard, Dick. Yeah, it's all the same. What's your name? Dick Swan.
What's your name? Dick Army.
Dicker.
What's your girlfriend's name? Vagina Coast Guard. But I guess that's gonna be a good match. I think something I've been thinking about lately is the fact that there's not really a lot of heels that have really good, solid submission finishes that are dominant. You know what I mean? Like you got Rusev.
Yeah.
And I mean, he always looks dominant as shit when he locks in the accolade and is just reefing back. But like, who else has a submission finish who's a heel? You've got Brian Kendrick, who I guess he was using the Captain Hook. It was called that
Captain's
headlock.
Hook, yeah.
And that was a cool finish. But I don't know. I'd like to see Neville submit him with that, whatever you want to call it, Rings of Saturn. That's what I'm going to call it because it's Perry Saturn.
That's a good question. I can't really think of many heels that have a really dominant submission finisher.
I literally can't think of any right now. I mean, obviously back in the day there was tons of them, but
yeah,
it's interesting to think about the fact that, you know, like how many.
I guess technically, if you consider Styles a heel, he's got the calf crusher.
Yeah, fair enough. But how often is he finishing with the calf crusher nowadays?
Not as much as he used to.
It's not like he's finishing every match with it. But either way, we'll get off it. But I think it would be interesting to see him submit Rick Swan and cement himself not only, hey guys, I am the king of the cruiserweights. It is a done deal. No one can mess with me. But also show like, hey, I'm done with this, you know, high flying bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm going to hurt you guys. I'm here to hurt you. I'm here to win. I'm your king. Just accept it.
And I'm here to be the king of the cruiserweights.
Exactly. Then we'll stick Elisa Fox with them.
Look at my beard.
Then we'll stick Elisa Fox with them because what the hell, and then we'll be good to go.
No, she's with Noam Dar now.
Is she actually with him now?
She's with Noam Dar.
I know that her and that other dude there, Cedric Alexander. I know they broke up and she was all pissed off, and that was funny. I'll give Alicia.
Yeah, she's with Noam now.
Yeah. Alicia Fox. I'll give her this. She plays that role well.
Crazy ass ex-girlfriend, yeah.
I'll give her that. Like, I think she's a good actor, and she's okay, like, with speaking and stuff. I hope maybe working with all these cruiserweights will give her a little bit more in the ring, you know? Like, she's never been the worst in the ring, but...
Maybe she'll become a cruiserweight.
Wouldn't that be interesting to see? Like a female cruiserweight division?
I just want to see her versus Noam Dar.
That'd be interesting. He'd just be there the whole time. Alicia Fox.
And she punches him right in the nose.
And he likes it. Sitting there like jerking off.
Oh, you hit me real good. Do it again.
He's not so fucked. Like it's just messed up, but I like it. You know, it's a good. I think it's a good storyline. I dig it. But getting off the cruiserweight match here, I think we can both agree it's going to be it'll be a good match. We definitely both want to see Nella go over. I guess the next match is going to be judging by my 7-match card here that I have in front of me. I guess it's going to be Charlotte Flair versus Bayley for the Raw Women's Championship.
I would assume so, yeah, because I doubt they're going to put that on before or after one of the major title matches.
Yeah, maybe I could see them putting it on after AJ Styles and Cena, just because it's SmackDown.
To break it up, maybe. Yeah,
yeah.
No, I could
it's
see
SmackDown.
maybe to break up because like AJ Styles and Cena could be a really, really, really good match.
It's gonna be a good match.
And you don't want the crowd out of it for Owens and Reigns.
Exactly. So I'm thinking maybe. Actually, you know what? I think you're right. So we'll do AJ Styles and John Cena next because I don't think we have the official kind of listing. So we'll do Styles and Cena next. Obviously, this is for the WWE Championship. I am saying right now, if I see John Cena dethrone AJ Styles clean, I'm gonna fucking lose it.
It's not gonna be clean. There's only one way I can see AJ winning though, and I think Samoa Joe might get involved in this match.
Yeah.
Samoa Joe's either going to be involved in the Rumble match or he's going to get involved in this match.
Absolutely.
But the thing I have with it is if you put Samoa Joe in the Rumble, he has to win the Rumble. So the way I can see of getting him to the main roster and getting him on SmackDown is having him, without having to win the Rumble, is getting him involved and screwing Cena out of the title and set up Samoa Joe versus John Cena for, either Elimination Chamber or WrestleMania.
I could see it because they have some history in the fact of I think they were both in the same class or something. I remember reading somewhere.
They've wrestled before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously not for WWE, but
I don't know if it was like WWE developmental though.
Yeah, but like as far as on WWE television, we've never seen them wrestle. But it'd definitely be interesting. I mean, we'll obviously talk about more Royal Rumble predictions from NXT later because I know one for sure we both want to see. And if they don't do it, that will cement this company. And I don't like to say a lot of negative things here, guys. You know that we like to try and have a more lighthearted, funnier kind of approach to things. But there's one person, if they don't debut them in the Rumble at one certain spot, this company literally might as well fold, in my opinion. Because whoever's writing it is just brain dead. But we'll get to that.
Or they're not ready.
Oh, they're ready. They've been ready for a while, but we will get.
I know.
I think
everybody knows what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll get to that though. The company shouldn't fold, but you know what I mean. Like whoever's writing creative needs to just.
It might
fired.
be a slight overreaction to fold.
A little bit.
I'm
very passionate.
A little overreaction.
I'm feeling very passionate today. It's what happens when you have issues with my internet. I'm just very, very agitated. Anyways,
flustered.
I'm very flustered over here. Anyways. But like I said, if John Cena goes over clean, like I'm probably gonna have to stop watching wrestling for a little while because
I can't see him going over clean.
I'd hope not. Like you said, maybe Samoa Joe comes in or something. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But I think,
with all the talk of Vince McMahon wanting AJ Styles to go to Raw because he's almost like outgrown SmackDown, I guess in his view, I can't see him putting Cena over him clean.
Yeah,
especially when Cena's
a
a part-timer at this point.
Absolutely. I completely agree with that. I think that it's definitely going to be a good match. I mean, they've had matches before and they were great. I would like to see... Obviously, I mean, I'm just a big AJ Styles mark at this point. So, if maybe someone screws over Styles for the title... I mean, I wouldn't hate it. I swear to God, if James Ellsworth comes out and screws AJ Styles out of the title, I'm going to lose it.
I think Ellsworth's moved on now. He's with Carmella now. I think you're safe from that.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. I always forget about that. That's just the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. Carmella and James Ellsworth, and they're decent together too. That's the funny thing.
It's not bad now,
and it's like it kind of makes sense. It's like, but anyway. So it's going to be, I think both agree it's going to be a good match.
Yeah.
I don't really have a whole lot else to say about it. I don't really have any crazy fantasy bookings or anything. I don't know if you do.
No, for this match, no. I just want to see a good match, and I want to see somebody win through some sort of interference.
Absolutely. And I think we can both agree that something's going to happen. There's no way.
Yeah, because I can't see Cena really wanting to take another clean pinfall. And I can't see AJ taking a clean pinfall from a guy who's not going to be around after.
Exactly. I can't see AJ letting that happen. I think he's been here enough now that it's like, come on, guys. Like, really? You want me to lose clean to the part-timer,
I don't think they're going to ask him to do that anyway, so I think we're all right.
Well, good. But moving on from that match, we have Charlotte Flair versus Bayley for the Raw Women's Championship. Now, what's interesting about this match is Charlotte Flair is undefeated at pay-per-views right now. So, does this mean that just by default Bayley's not going to win?
Yeah, because Dana Brooke's going to get involved and Charlotte's going to retain.
Yeah, that's what I can see happening.
I think this is going to be one of those matches that's kind of a throwaway before WrestleMania, as bad as that sounds.
Yeah.
It'll be a well-wrestled match. Dana Brooke gets involved, does some shit, and then Bayley loses.
Absolutely. I can understand what you're saying with that. If this is when they have Bayley dethrone Charlotte, I think that's kind of a wasted WrestleMania match.
It's a little premature, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. But, they have Bayley chase her until WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I could see that happening, and I think it'd be a great match. It wouldn't necessarily have to be a one-on-one match, but I think giving Bayley that WrestleMania moment, even if she doesn't dethrone Charlotte necessarily, like if she pins someone else in like a triple threat match or something.
Yeah.
So then technically Charlotte could still say she's never been pinned at a pay-per-view. It still works.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think giving Bayley her WrestleMania moment is kind of a license to print money.
Yeah. I can agree with that.
I think Bayley's still just as over as she was, especially with young girls and stuff like that. If they want Bayley to sell merchandise and stuff like that, building up this match for the next couple of months, I think is a good idea. So I think we can both agree on that. I definitely don't want to see it. I'm just hoping the interference on Dana Brooke's part isn't like lame.
Oh, it's going to be lame.
Like I hope that like lame in the sense of like she doesn't just like walk out and like stand there and distract you, then like, Bayley gets rolled up or something, or something like that. I want to see like a decent interference at least, where you're just like, come on.
No, my crazy prediction is Dana Brooke's going to come out, and she's going to have one of those like those body fat meters, where you put all the info in and like it reads your body fat and your BMI and stuff like that. And she's going to do her own body fat and BMI, and she's going to show it to Bayley, and Bayley's going to be shocked, and then she's going to get rolled up by Charlotte.
There you go.
There you go. You wanted a crazy prediction? There's your crazy prediction.
There's a crazy prediction for the day, folks.
Dana Brooke's going to come out with a body fat thingy.
Body fat thingy. Whatever the fuck they're called.
Actually, you know what she's going to do? She's going to come out with like those body fat calipers, and she's going to start measuring Bayley's body fat in the ring during the match. And that's going to cause Bayley to be distracted and lose the match. Don't ask why. Who knows?
It's just going to happen that way. That's what happens here,
Maybe
folks.
it starts a whole self-conscious sort of storyline between Bayley and Charlotte.
Yeah. Hey, what the hell? I could see that being a thing.
And then Dana's new gimmick can be walking around with like body fat calipers. It's more interesting than what she's doing now.
You know what? I don't hate that actually. Have her be like the one that, because she's like the fitness person, right? And have her
she was
be
a
the
bodybuilder, and she likes that kind of crap. So, yeah, she's going to walk around with body calipers from now on.
I could see that. I could totally see that happening.
Paulie had his phone. Cornette had his
tennis racket.
Cornette had tennis racket, and Dana Brooke's going to have body fat calipers.
And she could totally use them to interfere in a match too. Just hit people with them.
Just hit people with body fat calipers.
And they'd be like, "What the hell is going on?" I'm thinking of Crash Holly carrying around a scale.
Yeah.
Same kind of deal, but he used it for differences, obviously. But
she can be like Crash Holly's, really like mentally disturbed stepdaughter.
There you go.
There we go.
R.I.P. Crash Holly. Guys, let's say hypothetically here for a second that you have a business, you're in a band, you're a podcaster like me, you have a YouTube show, and you need some awesome new merch, business cards, logos, even maybe some t-shirts done up. Well, you need to look no further than my man, Mr. Jason Reese, over at Jaybird Digital Arts. Starting right now on this podcast today, Jason is offering a special 10% off discount just for listeners of The Harder Show when you mention The Harder Show upon contacting him. But what exactly does he do? Well, Jason does t-shirts, posters, album design, tickets, photo manipulation. You guys still with me? Advertising, business stationery, mailers, brochures, fine art, and anything else you can imagine, Jaybird Digital Arts can create it. Jason has done all of the t-shirts, logos, banners, and all social media stuff for both The Harder Show and for Harder Guitar Services, so I can promise that you will love and be inspired by what Jason comes up with. You can contact him on the web at www.jaybird, that's Jaybird, digitalarts.com, or you can search for him on Facebook and Instagram under the Jaybird Digital Arts handle. Search hashtag Jaybird Digital Arts for a look at all of his awesome and unique work. Anyways, so the next match we're going to talk about is the Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns no disqualification match for the Universal title, featuring Chris Jericho
a sexy
suspended.
pinata.
A very sexy pinata. Chris Jericho is going to be suspended above the ring in a shark cage, because why not?
It was probably Jericho's idea.
Probably. I could see Jericho going like, okay, here's what we're going to do, Vince. I'm going to be in a cage above the ring. Like a Hell in the Cell cage? No.
Like a sexy cage.
You're going to be a stripper.
You're gonna.
We're going to put a thong on you. You're going to dance.
And McMahon knows he would do it too.
He totally would. Like if he, especially if he's asking to be naked.
Can I strip to Fozzy?
Can I strip to Fozzy? Oh God, I could see him doing that too. Well, apparently strippers were big fans of Lights Go Out, so I could see it happening. Start stripping, the lights go out. Oh God, that's.
Does he make any cool music? Yeah, you probably heard it in a strip club before.
You probably heard it in a strip club before. Well, I think it was like number 6 of like the most danced to songs in like 2013 or 14 or something. Whenever the album came out.
Fozzy song was?
Yeah, I'm being serious too. Like Jericho was talking about it on his podcast before. Lights Go Out. And it was like, I was like, oh, okay. I mean, hey, if I had a band, I'd play it on my podcast too, so I can't say anything.
But copyrights and whatnot.
Yeah, copyrights and whatnot. Anyways, so I'm looking forward to the match. I'm kind of more. I mean, with the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, I think everyone's a little more interested to see what happens in the actual Royal Rumble match itself. But I think this will be a good match. Kevin Owens, I mean, he's awesome. He can work with anybody. Roman Reigns, he puts in the work.
He wears a vest.
I think we're getting a phone call.
Phone call.
Are we getting a phone call?
Phone call.
Hello?
Phone call.
Hello, you're on the air with the Harder Show. Who's this?
Excuse me, this is Marky Markinson. I wanted to call and talk to you about the Roman Reigns Kevin Owens match at the Royal Rumble this weekend. I don't think that Roman Reigns should go over because he wears a vest to the ring and he's already won 3 WWE World Heavyweight Championships. The crowd is sick and tired of seeing this long-haired tattooed Samoan in the ring. Okay, we need somebody fresh. We need we need Adam Cole to come and win the WWE Universal Championship because he can wrestle and Roman can't. He doesn't know any moves. He knows like 7 moves, right? And I just,
this isn't a call-in show, Marky. I don't know how the hell you got this information or how you got the Skype number, but I mean, I appreciate your thoughts. So what you're saying is you want Adam Cole to come in at the Royal Rumble on his first night of the company and win the Universal title.
Oh my God, I would just jerk off till I came if that happened.
You okay with it, buddy?
Sometimes I jerk off to people pitting Roman Reigns.
Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and disconnect.
Roman Reigns.
Okay. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what the hell just happened there, Brandon. How did you even allow that to happen?
It must have hacked the system.
You must have hacked the system. This is why you're the producer, so you can stop stuff like this, man. What the hell? Goddamn.
I gotta improve my firewall.
I'm gonna have to change my Skype information. I don't know how that. I apologize for that, guys. I don't know what the hell just happened. What was his name? Marky Markinson. Marky Markinson made an appearance on the Harder Show here. Very bizarre, but anyway.
Sounded like a douche.
Yeah, he sounded like an absolute loser. But he does bring up an interesting point. This Marky Markinson. He sounds like a real mark. People are getting sick of Roman Reigns. You know. Not necessarily people who matter, I think, but
You know who's getting sick of Roman Reigns? Guys who watch wrestling with their girlfriends and their girlfriends are attracted to Roman Reigns. Those are the guys who are getting sick of Roman Reigns.
I can understand that. I mean,
I wish I was a badass like Roman Reigns so my girlfriend would like me and, have sex with me once in a while.
is that a new guy?
No.
Is that a new character?
That's just my impression of every typical guy that watches Raw with his girlfriend.
I wish I didn't have to take Cialis to have sex with my girlfriend. I wish I looked like Roman Reigns, but since I don't, I'm gonna boo him everywhere.
I mean, I think there's a part of me that agrees that you're not wrong on that.
It's true. It's guys hate Roman Reigns because they aren't Roman Reigns.
Yeah,
Kids love Roman Reigns because they can still be Roman Reigns when they grow up. Girls like Roman Reigns because they want to have sex with Roman Reigns. But like guys our age are just like,
I could never be Roman Reigns because I failed at life, so now I'm gonna boo him.
I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Roman Reigns, but I don't hate him.
I love Roman Reigns.
You love Roman Reigns?
I love Roman Reigns.
Why do you love
Roman Reigns? I have a
man
crush on Roman Reigns.
Well, I mean, he's an attractive fella.
He is an attractive fella. He's not my favorite. My favorite guy in the company right now is Seth, but I love Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
I'm a big Shield mark though, so that's probably why that.
Yeah, you're one of those guys.
I loved Roman when he was in the Shield, but now he's a stupid egghead. My girlfriend won't have sex with me anymore.
What the is happening right now?
I have no idea.
First we had an interference from Marky Markinson. Now we're having an interference from the Roman Reigns.
My girlfriend will only have sex with me when she sees Roman Reigns.
So does she pretend you're Roman Reigns then?
Sometimes.
Anyways,
I'm sure it'll be a good match. I don't have much to say about it. I mean, Kevin Owens is great. Roman Reigns is great. I'm sure Jericho being suspended above the ring is going to be interesting.
Well, I want Roman Reigns to get like a really big stick and start beating the shit out of the cage while Jericho's in it because he called himself a sexy pinata.
Yeah.
So just Roman Reigns starts beating the shit out of the cage because he's like, you want to be a sexy pinata here? He just starts beating the cage.
That'd be funny. That'd be really funny. I feel like he's just going to be yelling the entire time too, Jericho. He's just like, you stupid idiot.
Probably.
Just taunting him the entire time.
Oh, most likely. I hope so.
It'd be very interesting.
Just the whole time he's going to be up there, I'm not a sexy pinata! Get me down! Get me down!
I don't want to be a sexy pinata. I think we can both agree it's going to be a good match. But who do you have going over?
I have Kevin Owens going over. It's a no DQ match. That way, what I feel is it's a no DQ match. So somehow Jericho's going to get out of the cage and then take out Roman, and then
they're gonna.
And then Orton. Wow, Owens is going to get a pin over Roman Reigns, and all the marks are going to be sitting there with their dicks out, just jerking it while Roman Reigns gets pinned.
Marky Markins is going to be having a time with that.
Because wrestling marks never get as hard as when Roman Reigns gets a 3 count on him.
I'm sure we'll get another phone call from Marky Markinson.
2, 3.
Oh, God. Anyway, it is time, finally, for the Royal Rumble match. Now, we're not going to go through like every participant and who we think is going to come in at number 1 and number 2 and number 3.
I have a
You
list.
have a list. Okay, so what's your list?
I have a list. So I've listed here every entrant that's declared for the Rumble so far. And I've broken them down into categories. So now, the first one I have are potential winners of the Royal Rumble. Guys who I can just see winning it. That list is Undertaker, Goldberg, Lesnar, Strowman, and Jericho. Those are the guys I can see coming into the Rumble and being like, okay, they might be in it for a while because I think they might want to be like those. They might want to be the final guys that they want in, so they can make it look like they're going to win.
Okay.
So then I have my second category, which is workhorses. Now, they aren't going to win, but they're going to be in there for a while because they can work and they have good conditioning. That's Ambrose, Miz, Zayn, Ziggler, Orton, Wyatt, Harper, and Cesaro.
Good list.
So that's the guys who are going to be... They're not going to win, but they can be in there for a while. They have the conditioning and the stamina to be in there for a while. I have another category that's basically guys who are going to be hard to eliminate, but they just aren't going to win, being Big Show, Corbin, Cass, and Big E. So they might be in there for a little bit, only because it's going to be really hard to eliminate them. And then you have Kofi Kingston, who's in his own category. He's in there literally just to get eliminated.
Because you want to see how he's going to...
I want to see how he's going to avoid elimination.
Yeah.
So he's in a category all by himself. And then I have a couple comedy acts that are Xavier Woods, Rusev, and Sheamus. They're just going to get eliminated in funny ways, I feel.
Yeah. I feel like
Rusev's going to come in there and be like, "Oh, Rusev crash," and then somebody just knocks him out.
You're like, what? I like how they've been letting him show personality.
Yeah.
I enjoy that because he's a funny dude. He's an entertaining dude.
So that's I broke that all down into categories. Those are all the guys that have declared so far. And of course, not Roman Reigns. Seth Rollins is out now because he lost to Sami Zayn last night.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. But now the last thing I have are potential entrants that are still to declare or surprise entrants.
Okay.
So, Kevin Owens, John Cena, Roman Reigns, or AJ Styles, depending on who wins the title matches.
Makes sense.
And then surprise entrants, I have a huge list here.
Yeah, this is what everyone wants to hear.
Samoa Joe, obviously. The guy we were talking about earlier, Ty Dillinger.
Yes.
Has to come in at 10.
Like, just right now, I'm saying this again. I said this in the beginning of the podcast. If it goes 3, 2, 1, click, 10. If that doesn't happen at number 10, whoever is writing needs to be fired. He doesn't need to debut and even do well. He doesn't need to debut and come on the main roster. Just have him come out, let everyone have their little mark out moment because everyone's in the crowd's going to be 10, 10, 10. Because, like, come on. Give me a break. What's been happening lately on WWE when friggin' there's anything of a 10 count? What happens? 10, 10, 10. He comes out. He has his Royal Rumble moment. Everyone freaks out, like kind of like what happened with Sami Zayn. Let him come out. Ty Dillinger works his ass off. His ass off. Affleck. He is an amazing talent. I think Dusty Rhodes said it best. He was just like, okay, what the hell else do you want me to do with this guy?
Yeah.
He's been ready for years. What is the issue? He can talk. He can work. He's got a good look. Like, what the fuck? But anyway, let him come out, even if he gets eliminated right away. You know what I
don't
mean?
think he will. I think he'd be
funny.
in there for like 10 minutes.
Yeah. Give him 10 minutes, Aaron. 10 minutes or 10 seconds.
Let him get eliminated by like Braun or something like that.
And he would just have him sell the elimination like, awesome. Like, have him just do like a really cool spot.
Yeah.
And it'd be great. Give him his moment. And just see what his reaction is. If everyone freaks out and everyone is the entire time is just loving it, think about pulling him up that way.
Yeah.
But just I want to see that for sure. We both can agree on that. I know you said Samoa Joe earlier as well.
Samoa Joe. The other guys I have on here, depending on what happens at TakeOver the night before, Bobby Roode, Shinsuke Nakamura, either or, depending on who isn't NXT champion, or you throw the NXT champion into the Royal Rumble. Who knows?
Could be interesting.
Obviously, I have like the ones that are kind of like way out there, being Kenny Omega or Adam Cole.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see Adam Cole, but Kenny Omega, it's interesting because I just saw, I think it's ProWrestlingTees.com. They're doing a sale of all his T-shirts.
Really?
Like a final sale of all his T-shirts or something.
Interesting.
And I was like, that is, it could be nothing.
I mean, my thing is, there's a perfect spot, like just like Ty Dillinger, there's a perfect spot to put Kenny Omega in the Rumble as well. Because Omega means the end.
Yes.
30th entrant, Kenny Omega. Omega, the end.
It works.
It's perfect.
And I feel like for them to top last year with AJ Styles debuting in the Rumble,
they have to use Kenny Omega.
Yeah, they're going to have to use... And I think they can make that a thing where if they have a guy they have to debut and they don't know where to put him, and the fans are going to know who he is, make that the thing. Yeah. I mean, he's not on the same level as AJ was, obviously, with respects to Kenny Omega, because I love his work.
Well, no, because AJ
and he's definitely over.
AJ was around longer than Kenny Omega has. Yeah.
For as long as Kenny Omega's been around, I mean, he's a big deal. He's a big free agent. And when he was on Talk is Jericho, with Jericho and Don Callis, bring up Don Callis again, because he's like my new favorite guy in the world. You know, like, he didn't really say anything. You know, but I could tell that he was like, just like, yeah, you know, like, we'll see what happens in the future. I'm not sure what's going to happen.
He was on the Taz show as well, and he was very vague, but like he hasn't left anything off the table, is what I'm hearing.
Mm-hmm. I feel like if they reach an agreement and they can do it, and it would be, again, I don't think Kenny Omega, if he comes in, he should win. I think that is.
I think he has to win if he comes in, though. Like, it's kind of like a Samoa Joe thing.
Yeah, but the thing is you get a guy come in like a Kenny Omega who he's world champion caliber athlete. Do not get
unless you have him knocked out by somebody who's a monster heel.
That's what I'm saying. Like, say he comes in at number 30. Say you have like Taker, Goldberg, friggin' Cena, like all these big stars in the ring.
I think that Kenny Omega, if Kenny Omega came in earlier in the match, I think the perfect guy to really get heat on this guy, the perfect guy to knock him out is Baron Corbin. He'd get so much heat for that.
Yes. And just Corbin just sell it too.
Yeah.
I just like, oh, did I do that? I'm sorry. Like, because I love Corbin. I love how they've been kind of letting him just be an asshole lately.
Yeah.
He's not even a heel anymore. He's just an asshole.
Yeah.
Because like you can kind of tell in real life he's kind of a grumpy brother. Like you can tell. Yeah. So it's like, what the hell? Let him just be that guy. I know that's not a lot of people like Baron Corbin. A lot of the internet guys hate Baron Corbin.
He doesn't even wear a vest.
Yeah. Don't get another interruption from Marky Merkinson here. Yeah. But I know that's like even my buddy Jacob, who was on the podcast there last week, like he's not a very big Baron Corbin fan. He says like there's something missing from him, and I can't put my finger on it. But something like if they just give him all the heat, Kenny Omega comes in and like he does really well, and then Baron Corbin kind of cheaps him out and eliminates him, say.
Yeah.
And it starts a feud between Kenny Omega and Baron Corbin.
That's what a so great outlandish, way to bring him in. But it's so outlandish.
Yeah, what the hell? That's a good way to bring him in.
It's so outlandish
with someone
to think
with Corbin. But like Corbin needs to work with guys who are better than him, correct?
Yes.
He needs to work with guys who have experience and guys who can make him look like a monster, but at the same time aren't going to get buried by him.
Yeah.
Speaking in the sense of because he's a big guy and they just like are going to look like bitches afterwards. Not that Baron Corbin's burying guys. Don't even fucking start that conversation, internet. Someone like a Kenny Omega, he could do that and make it work. Someone like a Ty Dillinger.
Yeah.
You know, it could happen. I want to see Corbin get some heat out of this match. I want to see him get some momentum out of it.
Well, we'll see.
I definitely don't want to see him in the world title picture again anytime soon.
Maybe 6 months down the line.
Yeah, I want to see him win kind of that mid-card title first and have a little tiny run with it.
Yeah. Just
so that he can use it as a stepping stone. Make him Intercontinental Champion for a little while, because what the hell? Give him the title and then have him like remake the title or something. Like I'm sure probably they're gonna do soon. Because why not? I guess. And have him be the one to make it over. Like I don't want to hold this belt that has all this prestige. I don't care about that. I'm the new Intercontinental Champion. I don't give a shit about Pat Patterson and friggin' I can't believe I'm drawing a blank on all these, like Shawn Michaels and all these classic Intercontinental Champion guys. I don't care about that. I'm Baron Corbin. This is my title now.
Yeah.
And then he holds up the title and it's the new design and everyone's just like, oh, instant heat. And I think it would work.
Just a belt with a wolf's face on it.
I don't know if I go that far.
I'm just spitballing.
But like he brings in the new design and rename. You know, he just like this is the new SmackDown Intercontinental Championship. Like this is my title, and you know it's gonna take a hell of a man to get this from me. Mm-hmm. And it could work. It's
possible.
Something interesting, but I'm just booking for Baron Corbin at this point.
Well, before you go too far off on Baron Corbin, I still have names here.
Yes, you got.
I have Cassius Ohno, otherwise known as Chris Hero.
Yeah, because he is back in NXT.
He is back in NXT, and he could
lost a lot of weight.
He could easily get back into that. He could easily get into the Rumble, and look fine. Yeah. Tommy End.
Yeah.
Tommy End, or as he's being repackaged now, Aleister Black. You know what? The way they're repackaging him, it makes sense.
Yeah,
Because he's
I
actually
haven't
put
seen
on
it
his
yet,
Twitter
but-
saying, okay, you know what, like every story has an end, and this is the end of Tommy End sort of thing. He's going with that kind of route, and now he's going to be Aleister Black.
I just think that's a really gimmicky name, but I get it. You know, it's just,
Tyler Bate,
okay.
the UK champion.
Yeah,
Have him come in.
because he's a young kid
19
too.
years old.
He's God. What the hell were we doing when we were 19?
Not
This
winning
kid's-
the United Kingdom
This
Championship.
kid's winning United Kingdom championships. What the fuck were we doing?
Pete Dunne, the guy who was in the finals for that same United Kingdom Championship and is a fantastic heel. I have Wolfgang, because he did really well in that United Kingdom Championship, and he'd be, I don't know how you'd use him in the WWE, but oh my goodness, he's so good.
Yeah, I only saw the final match in the UK tournament.
255, like 6 foot something, and he's a beast. I think you'd really enjoy his work. I have Neville.
Yeah, that's
Being a
pretty.
surprise entrance, something we didn't expect. Maybe he wins the Cruiserweight Championship. Now he wants to be the king of the WWE, so he goes, into the Rumble. Austin Aries.
Yeah, if he's cleared, that'd be great.
Yeah, if he's cleared, I don't know if he will be or not. And speaking of cleared, Finn Balor.
Yeah, that was going to be my surprise entrant is Finn Balor.
But it's another guy. If he's in there, he almost has to win or get screwed out in a really weird
Yeah.
way. And then for my fun pick that it obviously won't win it, but it'll be fun to see him back is Jake the Snake.
That could be really cool. That could be because I know he wanted to do that a couple of years ago, and then Vince said no. But now it's like, what the hell? Just give it to him,
I think he could do it. I think it could last like 3 or 4 minutes. Just
just give him a couple minutes to kind of get in there, give someone a DDT. Like that's all he needs to do.
I want to see him DDT Dean Ambrose.
Because that'd be, and Dean Ambrose too. He'd just be like, just to check, like I don't care. I will sell whatever you need me to do. Like you can eliminate me. Like
And who do you want to put a snake on?
Dean Ambrose.
Xavier Woods.
Or Xavier Woods. That could be freaking hilarious.
Xavier Woods would sell the out of it.
Yeah, just put him with guys who are respectful and like who are gonna sell for Jake and not be afraid to.
I think anybody on.
I think pretty much anyone would. Yeah. But there's guys like Ambrose who like he would sell because that how much of a mark he is for that kind of shit. Because like,
well, he already did. He sold the snake. Remember, like when Jay came back at that old school Raw.
yeah, and he was smiling with Dave because he was just like, I can't believe this is happening right now. Like it'd be great. But do you have any other kind of surprise entrance of old school wrestlers you want to see make a little comeback for the Rumble? Because those are always fun.
They already did DDP.
Yeah, I don't want to see DDP again.
It would be kind of cool to see like some old school WCW guys like Disco Inferno come back or something like that because he could like, go right to Goldberg.
Yeah, go right to Goldberg and start smacking him.
And you could have like a Goldberg squash match inside the Royal Rumble.
Yep, he just like spears him and throws him out. I still think, and it's not going to happen 150,000%. But I would like when AJ Styles debuted last year, I lost it. I can't remember who else was in the Rumble last year from like surprise like old school entrance.
There was
guys.
none.
There wasn't any, was there?
There wasn't any.
That was the year before. I'm thinking the DDP.
It was Triple H was the other surprise.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because I remember from the Royal Rumble last year's AJ Styles. But anyways, I think it would be very cool, but I know it's not going to happen. There's a couple guys I'd like to see. My number one guy, I would love to see just because I want to see him come out and just for TJ, nothing else. Obviously, is fucking Dean Malenko, because why not? But make it kind of like a joke.
Dean, take off your suit. You're going to the Rumble.
Like just kind of make it a joke. This like, why is Agent out here? But then like everyone's like, oh yeah, this is Dean Malenko. Like have him like hit like a fucking.
Who would you want the cloverleaf on?
Someone stupid. Like it doesn't really matter who, but like have him
Xavier Woods.
Yeah, like someone like Xavier Woods who like have him come out and just like as a joke have him come out, but then like. The New Day's in the ring, they're laughing at him or something, and then he like takes out Xavier Woods and puts him in a cloverleaf for a few seconds, and then Big E breaks it up or something. You know what I mean? Like just something silly like that, just for TJ. I'd love to see that. And then they throw him out, or they throw him out over the ropes. He kind of stands on the apron for a second, then they knock him off very carefully because my other guy who I'd love to see, but 100% it's never going to happen. I think you can already guess who it is, and that's Taz.
Yeah.
I mean, here's how I would book it straight up. Number 13, say you've got 3 or 4 guys in the ring, good guys who are safe. So say you got like a Ty Dillinger, for example. You've got, I don't fucking know, a Roman Reigns or something. You've Sami Zayn, like guys who will sell, but who are also going to be very careful. But also a small guy. Who's a small guy? We can throw.
Dolph.
No, like small guy. We need like a cruiserweight guy or something.
Have Cass already out there and have Enzo get in the ring.
Yes, exactly. Have Enzo in there. Have Enzo, like Roman Reigns, Sami Zayn, Ty Dillinger in there. Out comes Taz. He comes walking out. Everyone would pop. 100% they would. Because they'd be like, are you fucking kidding me? It's Taz. Comes walking out. He can wear his gimmick shirt, whatever he wants to do. He gets in the ring, walks up the steps, and everyone's just staring at him. Like, no one's going to do anything. They're just going to stare at him the whole time. Like, oh my God, it's Taz. What the fuck? Taz gets in the ring, stands there for a second, looks around, and he just kind of does the bring it, and Enzo comes at him, because Enzo Amore, what the hell, you know? And him and Enzo have a little back and forth, some fisticuffs, and everyone else is just watching this unfold, because they're like, it's Taz. What the? Kind of like what happened with Kevin Nash when he came in the Royal Rumble a few years ago. Everyone just like stared at him for a second. They're like, oh my God, it's Diesel. And I can't remember who he attacked him. Anyway, they have a little bout of fisticuffs. You know, Taz maybe does a belly to belly or something. He maybe gives him a Tazplex or something like that. You know what I mean? Like just some kind of a good suplex he could still pull off on someone like Enzo. Because I feel like it wouldn't take much effort on Taz's part. Because I know Taz's back is fucked. And obviously, I don't want Taz to get hurt. This is just a fantasy booking for me. But say he gives Enzo, and then he chokes Enzo out because he totally could. Enzo would I feel like Enzo would be honored to do the job too. Like he wouldn't lose, he wouldn't get thrown out, and then right at that point, say like Big Cass comes in at number 14, and he comes in and he pulls Taz off him and literally picks him up and places him over the rope, and then just like knocks him, and Taz kind of like gracefully falls to his knees and then falls off the ring. You know what I mean? Like, because I feel like Cass would be able to just lift him up over the rope very carefully, and like, you know what I mean? Like, Taz would just kind of like sell it, like, what the fuck? Like, he doesn't expect it. And just, you know, Taz has his moment. Taz gets a nice payday. I get to see Taz choke someone out. Everyone wins.
And you just really want to see him choke somebody else out before, you know.
I want to see Taz choke someone out one more time. But the last person, to my recollection, that we saw Taz choke out was Jerry Lawler. To my recollection.
Did he choke out Paul Heyman, like in a non...
Maybe he did.
When he was like commentating, didn't he get up and just like choke out Paul Heyman once?
It's possible, but the last time we saw Taz in a match capacity... because I believe I did a list.
Jerry Lawler.
It was Jerry Lawler and him, and he choked out Jerry Lawler. It was amazing. I just love watching Taz choke people out. And the thing is, like, it wouldn't take much effort on his part either. Like, really, it would be. It could work, but I know we're never going to see it. It's fantasy booking for me at this point. You have any?
Well, that was all the way I had like legends and stuff like that coming back. I had a couple predictions of how it's going to go down the actual Rumble itself.
Yes,
I have Randy Orton and Luke Harper taking each other out.
Yeah, and that sets up a feud for them.
I have Big Cass taking out Rusev, but Rusev gets pissed off and takes Big Cass out by coming back in the ring, just screwing him out of that way.
I could see it. After he takes Taz out.
Yep. I have Sami Zayn drawing number 1.
Yeah, and he stays in like the whole match.
Yeah, he's like one of the final 5 guys. He's just in there. He's the workhorse.
Because he could pull it off.
I have Samoa Joe at number 27.
Any significance to the number or just cause?
I think it's the winningest number in Royal Rumble history, number 27.
Is it?
I think it is. I think most guys have won from the number 27.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, all right. So I think because I have Samoa Joe winning the whole thing, and I'm like, yeah, let's put him at number 27 because the odds are there. And then, of course, I have Kenny Omega at number 30.
Yeah, which is, you know, as sweet as it would be.
Which is completely unrealistic, but I just like, it's my prediction.
Well, it's like me predicting Taz coming in, or predicting, I don't know what's more outlandish, me predicting Dean Malenko coming in or Taz.
Probably Dean Malenko.
Because this wouldn't happen.
No, actually, no, I could see Dean Malenko actually coming in.
I could see Dean just like, we'll do one more run, gents. Like, just do a little run in, you know? It'd be great. It'd be
actually be funny if he put the cloverleaf on Sheamus.
That'd be pretty funny. But see, I feel like that's not believable. Like, you know, the old agent comes in and is able to take out Sheamus and put the cloverleaf on him, whereas someone like an Xavier Woods,
yeah,
I would
but Sheamus uses the cloverleaf.
Yeah, no, I know, but like the average wrestling fan, that wouldn't make any sense. But then again, it's just for TJ, so maybe.
Yeah, it's just TJ fantasy booking.
TJ fantasy booking. So what the hell? You know who else I would love to see in the Rumble? Just because I'm just going off on this now. I would love to see Don Callis in the Royal Rumble. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, for fuck's sakes.
Lance Storm.
Oh, no.
No.
If I could be serious for a minute.
I want to see him cut a promo in the middle of the Royal Rumble. Oh, my God. I'm looking forward to seeing Big Show.
Dude, have you seen him lately?
Yes.
Dude, he's lost a lot of
He
weight.
got ripped.
Yeah, he's ripped now. He's a ripped 7-foot tall dude.
Giant abs.
He's like medium show now.
He's medium show. Well, it's the medium show.
Medium show.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, he's a little bit smaller, but he's still pretty big. Sure. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Be sure to let us know what some of your predictions are for the Royal Rumble, guys, in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Of course, you can hit us up on the Facebooks. You can hit me up on my Twitter at The Harder Show. You can hit Brandon up at his Twitter. Is it still your average noob TV?
It's just average noob TV,
Average
but
noob
I barely use it, so you're probably better off not.
You're probably off not hitting him up. You can hit me up and let me know your predictions and that kind of thing. Email me, that kind of bullshit. Brandon, it's been fun. Thanks for coming on and
This is going to be a nightmare to edit.
Yeah, this is going to be a lot of it's an hour and 20 on my part. It's going to be a nightmare to edit, but that is okay. I believe in you.
At least one of us does.
I believe in you. Yeah. Any more quick Royal Rumble predictions before we go? Anything you want to get out?
No, I think we covered everything. If something else that we haven't said happens, then I'll be quite surprised, to be honest.
If there's any matches announced or anything, I'll be very surprised. So
there might be another like SmackDown match, like Alexa Blair, like we might get Mickie James versus Becky Lynch.
Yeah, something like that, and I'd be cool. To see
but
that.
other than that, I can't see much else.
Yeah,
I'm surprised that like the SmackDown Women's Championship isn't going to be defended.
Yeah, that's kind of surprising.
As well as the SmackDown Tag Team Championships.
The
IC belt's not being defended.
Well, that's because a lot of those guys are probably going to be in the Rumble, I guess.
Yeah, but we've seen like last year we saw Dean Ambrose and Kevin Owens both in the Royal Rumble match after that their Intercontinental match.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Maybe some matches will get announced. You know,
maybe
we'll have to see what happens. If like 3 matches going to announce, we're going to have to redo this. No.
The only ones I could see really getting announced are Mickie James versus Becky Lynch. They haven't set anything up for American Alpha, so I doubt the SmackDown Tag Team Championships are getting defended. And I couldn't care less about Dean Ambrose.
Same here. I don't like him being the Intercontinental Champion, but that is a conversation for another time. Brandon, thank you very much. We'll talk to you.
Thank you.
All right, guys, that was the Royal Rumble Predictions podcast with Brandon. Really hope that you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, be sure to let me know what your guys' predictions are for the Royal Rumble. Anyone you want to see in the Rumble, anything and all like that. You know I always love to hear from you guys and hear what you have to say. Regardless of how you are listening, if you're listening on the SoundCloud, be sure to follow to the Harder Show on SoundCloud, give everything that goes on, leave a like on this podcast, and comment your life away. If you are listening on the YouTube, be sure to subscribe to the Harder Show to keep with everything that is going on the YouTube. Any update videos I do, any vlog type stuff, any gaming stuff. It's been a couple weeks since I've done something gaming related, so I might try and get something up either later this week or next week. We'll see what happens. I'm actually have started replaying Skyrim again on the PS4, so might be a Skyrim video. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But if you guys are listening on the iTunes, which you guys know is the easiest way to listen to the Harder Show, be sure to subscribe to keep with everything that goes on in the iTunes. Once you subscribe to the Harder Show on iTunes, you guys, you don't even have to think about it. It will be automatically downloaded to the device of your choosing once you set it up for that, and you don't have to think about it. You'll just come on your iPad and go, oh, look, new Harder Show, right on. Hook it up. And if there's any other way you are listening to the podcast, be sure to let me know if maybe you're listening on the awesome app Castbox, which they gave me a little Twitter shout out. So thank you, Castbox. Thank you for making an awesome app. It's one of the apps I have on my phone. Actually, I use it all the time. This is not a sponsored shout out or anything. I'm just saying it because it's a great app. It's 100% free. You can get it for iOS or Android phones, and you search for The Harder Show. I'm on there. You can subscribe, see all the new episodes. You can download them as well and listen to them offline, which is very, very cool, and it doesn't cost you a cent, which is awesome. There's a lot of great apps on there, but I really like Castbox. Really good stuff. So, but anyway, guys, that's going to do it for me here today. Thank you so much for tuning in. You know I appreciate it. You know I appreciate you for taking the time to click that play button. It means the world to me. Hope that you guys enjoy the Royal Rumble. Definitely we'll be doing some kind of a review Probably won't be up until Monday morning, or even Monday evening. We'll see what happens. It might be a 3-podcast week next week, but we'll see what happens. Hope you guys enjoy the Rumble. Be sure to hit me up on the Twitter, Facebook, to let me know what you guys are thinking while it's happening. I'm sure I'll be live tweeting. So I will talk to you guys next time.